The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
From Hollywood, California, by way of the Broken Skull Ranch, this is the Steve Austin Show.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, here's Steve Austin.
I'm talking to Post Malone.
What's going on?
God dang. Dude, you've been exploding. You're blowing up all of a sudden.
I'm working.
But you know what? It's kind of like all of a sudden I heard of you, and I'm going to tell everybody how I heard of you. But it wasn't an overnight success. Right. You've been grinding.
Yeah, man. I'm 22, so I moved out here when I was like 18, but I've been making music since I was like 12. So it's been, I've been in every type of band you could think of, and then just finally something clicked, Hey,
but let's tell a story about how you and I connected real quick, and then we'll jump, because I know you've done a lot of interviews. You've been talking about your past, and I don't want to cover all the stories that everybody already talked about, and probably neither do you. And we was on one phone call. Well, let me get to the text messages. We started off with some direct messages on Twitter. All of a sudden, I'm at the house. This was a couple of weeks ago. It was a couple of months. The BET Awards were going on, and all of a sudden, my Twitter timeline starts blowing up. And I'm like, man, what's up? I said, I must have said something really cool.
Right.
It wasn't me. It was you. And you had worn a licensed WWE vest, a Stone Cold Steve Austin vest to the BET Awards, and then you performed.
Yes, sir, with the Amigos.
And so, man, all of a sudden I said, man, let me look this dude up, because, man, I'm 52. And so I'm stuck in the 80s, 90s, just that hard rock stuff and stuff like that.
You look
like,
great.
Man, Post Malone, I was like, shoot. I looked up on Twitter. I said, hey, man, the dude follows me. So I followed you back. And then all of a sudden you said, effing legend. What an honor. I direct messaged you. I said, the vest was epic. And Post said, I had to show some love. Let's crack a Cohen sometime. I said, I do a podcast twice a week. If you're interested in shooting a breeze, let me know. He goes, bro, I'd be fucking honored. Shoot me a text. It'd be a dream come true. And I said, you live in L.A.? He goes, yes, sir. Did you just text me? I said, yep. And then we was off.
Got him. It's good stuff, man.
God dang, dude. How did you get acquainted with me coming up in your formative years? You're only 22. I've been done for 14 years. You come up in upstate New York, moved down to Grand Prairie, Dallas, Fort Worth area. When did you start watching wrestling?
I don't know. I've been watching wrestling for a long time. I mean, I think it was more whenever I moved to Dallas. And because I moved to Dallas when I was 9. So it's like, I guess just growing up and watching, so you stopped, what year did you stop?
Man, by 2003, and that wasn't even full time. I guess kind of just doing some stuff.
Because I'm 95. So, I mean, mostly just you made such a culture for just sticking it to it, man. We love it. And I love beer. So, we just clicked on that level and just watching highlights and all that good stuff, man. You're just a legend, man.
Hey, man, here's the thing. I got my own beer. It's Broken Skull IPA. Post Malone drinks Bud Light. He brought, 2 18-packs or 12 packs?
Yeah, buddy. What is it?
Two about 36 beers
Yeah, that's
over here.
approximately 36.
Post rolled in. He had all that beer. I said, man, I'm on a diet, but I'm going to have one with you just because I can't get two guys like us together.
Brother.
Manager Ben is here with us. Cheers to you, man.
Yes,
Congratulations
sir.
on all your success and all your hard work. I want to talk about that, but here's a swig of beer. That ain't a bad beer.
That's a good beer.
That ain't a bad beer.
It's a good beer.
It ain't a bad beer. God dang. Hey, where you want to start? I want to ask you about all your musical influences because, God dang, man, you start off in New York, get down there in Texas. Right. I know for a while you was big into country music, and you're still into everything.
Yeah, we love it.
What defined or created your sound?
Growing up, my dad was super into he was a metalhead. He got me on Metallica and Megadeth, and not only that, but Ice-T, NWA, Biggie, all that stuff. And then my mom was more of the countryside because she would always have Tim McGraw on and Toby Keith. Toby Keith's a legend, and just all that good stuff. And I guess whenever I moved to Texas, I kind of really got into Hank Sr. and George Jones and just all, the older stuff and Johnny and stuff. So, I guess when I make my music, it all comes together in a weird way.
Dude, how does somebody your age get hit? How does somebody your age get hooked on Hank Sr.? Because a lot of people don't get that sound no more.
No, you can't.
It's evolved, and it's kind of evolved a little too much, too far.
And I agree with you, and I say that like pop country sucks.
Right.
I hate the new country.
Right.
I can't. I think 2000 to 2005 is the furthest that I'll go. Like I don't have no problem with like the newer Tim McGraw or like. Something like, but these artists now, it's not even country anymore. It's pop music.
A while back, I was watching an interview you did, I forget which radio station it was, but Peter Rosenberg was there as well. And I know Peter.
He's a good
guy.
guy.
Of course, he knows the shit.
Yeah, he's a big wrestling fan.
So, but he's a big music guy.
Yeah, he's
especially hip-hop.
He's very smart.
And you were saying, all of a sudden you said Tim McGraw was one of your favorites. And he said, what's your favorite Tim McGraw song? And I said, I know he's going to say Indian Outlaw. Sure enough, that's what you said. You remember that?
Yeah.
You were drinking beer, so I didn't know if you remember
what was
or not.
It was with Ebro.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
But I knew out of all the Tim McGraw songs, I said, he's got to say that. And you did.
It's a great song. I just went
by the beat.
Yeah. Very, very into Angry all the time right now, too.
You are or he is?
No, I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Why?
The song is just super good. I don't even know. It just makes me, like, I'll get hammered and have like 40 beers and I'll just cry and hold my beer up to the sky and sing that song all the time. I can't relate to any of the lyrics, but I can relate to the pain. But it's a great song.
Hey, man, when you rolled up on my sidewalk over here, you're a bigger drink of water than I expected you to be.
Yeah,
Did
man.
you ever get into any athletics or anything?
Football. 18,
what position?
8th grade, left tackle. A big boy. Back then, everybody thought I was going to be.
What'd you weigh coming out of high school? 200, 210?
Nah, I'd say 180.
180?
Yeah, coming out of high school, 180. Now I'm a solid like 215.
Do you follow any sports or anything?
Yeah, I'm a big Cowboys fan, big Mavs fan. My dad works for the Cowboys, so that's why we moved to Texas, was because he got a job over there. So I'm the biggest Cowboys fan.
So when you guys pulled out of New York, I mean, what did you think about Texas? He's like, hey, man, this sucks or this is different? Or you
it's
just
way
adapted?
different because upstate New York is kind of like super... very like country, like everybody's driving tractors down the road and stuff. Because I was like more up near Walton.
Okay.
So it's like kind of outside of Syracuse and up there. And I guess that's why my mom loved country, because my grandma raised everybody on that too. So, it's different. And I kind of moved to the suburbs of Dallas, like 12-minute drive to Dallas. It was way different. It was way hotter. The weather was way crazy out there. Where are you from?
Dude, I was born in Austin, Texas.
Austin,
and then, my parents split up. We went down between Houston and Corpus, and they're still down there. And then I ended up in San Antonio for a long time. And then, after I got a wrestling business, I ended up out here. And I dig the weather out here, but LA's a big city. I'm not too much on a big city, but
right.
You've been here for what now, 4 or 5 years?
Three, almost 4.
How you making the transition? Are you there yet? I mean, you got to love the weather.
Yeah, I mean, the weather's good stuff. It's just... it's fun to party, but then you realize that not a lot of people here are as genuine as they would have been in Texas. It's just different mindset, different way of being raised.
Yeah, but a part of that I think is, there's good folks in LA, but I think, when you get in the show business aspect, dude, it's like, what have you done for me lately or right now?
Right, exactly. It's it's rare to actually meet somebody from LA that lives in LA. So whenever you meet somebody like, whoa, I'm from LA, that's crazy. Yeah. Because everybody comes here, they want their shot, or they came here after they kind of almost got their shot, and they're just here to, prosper more off that, which is cool.
Hey, man, let me ask you this. You rolled up over here in a Rolls Royce.
Yes, sir.
And Post and I were text messaging each other the other day. I sent him a text and said, hey, man, I said, you up for doing a podcast on Saturday? He goes, yeah, man, I'll be there. I said, what time? He said, what time? I said, what about 1 o'clock? He goes, all right. And then you sent me a picture. Y'all partying. It was like 7:30 in the morning. I was up drinking coffee. I was about to get my workout. We're filming my show. And I was like, man, this guy out partying so much. He don't even remember talking to me. So I'm at my house a while ago, and all of a sudden I get a text, OMW.
Right.
And I'm thinking, man, I did OMR on my vest at WrestleMania 19,
right?
Whatever it was with The Rock, and I said that was my one more round, and I think it means on my way,
right?
And he's on his way, but since I hadn't heard,
he actually came.
I didn't, man, I wasn't even prepped.
I wouldn't miss it for the world. That guy, the guy from the picture, was the one that gave me the vest because he had the vest. I don't want to sound blasphemous, But he had the vest on his, like, he just bought it off online.
Yeah.
He had it, it came in like a square glass jewel case. And I was like, hey, man, how much you want for the vest? Let me buy this vest right now because Stone Cold's my favorite. And he's like, I don't know, man. I said, I'll give you $2,000 right now. So he gave me the vest. I cut it out. I wore it. And I felt the power channeled through me. And I said, you know what? I have to wear this on national TV because I feel this power. I felt like I could have stunned anybody at the BET Awards.
What was the reaction? Because it blew up. I couldn't believe it.
I mean, everybody liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you have any haters.
I don't know. But I remember this back in the day when I was still running real hot. Back in the day, if I went to like MTV Awards or this, that, or whatever, you know, I would wear, you know, my vest that I wore to the ring. I'd wear a pair of jeans, and dude, I wasn't dressing up in no, you know, regular button-up shirt or polo, nothing like. I wore my vest with nothing on underneath it, and had a gold chain on, because I was living the gimmick. So, wasn't nobody going to change me because I was going to an award show, and I think. Because I was so in the moment, dude, I lived, ate, slept, and breathed the wrestling business. So when I went to an award show, the couple that I went to, I was wearing my
Right.
So when I saw you busted out, I said, man, that's pretty cool. That's a ballsy move for somebody to make.
Right. I had to rock it out, man. Is that vest like real?
Oh, yeah, man, I got a couple next door. I'll show you. They're all made out of black leather, and the silver on there was melted glue. And the seamstress, her name is Terry Anderson. She still works for WWE.
Who designed all that stuff?
Man, I would just say, hey, put Austin here and do 316 here. And I always stuck with three letters, whether it's DTA, BMF, SOB, or whatever. I would tell her where to put it. She would make them. But she's the one that came up with that skull design. I mean, she's awesome at what she does. There it is right there.
This, yeah, right here.
Got
the Texas flag.
Skull. Texas flag right on his arm.
This is the Steve Austin Show.
You own or rent your home? Sure you do. And I bet it can be hard work. You know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowners or renters insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com. You're 22.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about your upswing as far as gaining some 411 and knowledge in the show business or entertainment industry, especially in the music making business, because you're 22, man. All of a sudden, man, I hear all about you, and I start digging music. I got your whole album on my iPhone downloaded on iTunes. And, man, all of a sudden I saw White Iverson. I said, Go Flex. And I'm like, God dang, man. And all of a sudden you got hundreds of millions. Like right now, White Iverson has 378 million hits. And Go Flex, 117 million.
The same with, because White Iverson, whenever I put that song out, I was 18.
Jesus.
So it's like that. And then just overnight, I woke up and it really was the most random thing. And I couldn't have been any more lucky. Like, there's so many more people out there that deserve it way more than me, but you just gotta timing and all that stuff. So it's like, I put the song out and I woke up and it was just going crazy. Like Wiz Khalifa tweeted it, Mac Miller tweeted it. And then just next thing I know, I got signed and everybody thought I was going to be a one-hit wonder. And, you know, then we put out a almost 2 times platinum album and, you know, 2 billion streams and just like, you know, it's crazy. Just, I never really, like, I'm supposed to be in college right now. I never really got to like experience the growing up phase of going into adulthood and being able to make mistakes and all that stuff. Cause you know, I'm still young. I've made a lot of mistakes. Like I've signed contracts that I shouldn't have. And luckily that it didn't ruin everything because you're young and you're just dumb and you'll just, okay, cool, give me some money. And then I'm cool. But then you realize in the long term,
there wasn't enough money.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not enough money. You're like, whenever you're broke and you're like looking through your friend's car to find quarters for cigarettes, you don't realize that, like, hey, $10,000 ain't that much money.
Yeah, on one hand it is, but in the big picture it ain't, for what you're doing. In the entertainment industry, it ain't nothing.
Exactly.
But I remember, and I call it the old starving rock and roll artist contract, because I signed a couple of them back in my wrestling days.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's a parallel.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, you got to get some smarts, or you got to get a lawyer to help you sort through this stuff, because all of a sudden, man, they're either guilt tripping you or, playing this song, dance for you, and it's all about them putting more money in their pockets than they want to put in yours.
Right.
One time a guy told me, his promoter, he goes, Steve, as a promoter, you never want a talent to know what they're worth. And boy, as soon as he said that, lights went off in my head. It's like, I get it. I understand the game now. You just explained it to me. So, that's part of the process. So how have you surrounded yourself with the right people to keep you on the rails? Because right now you're 22. I know you're drinking a whole bunch of beer. You're having a good time, but you can't lose sight of where you want to go, or you get caught up in a turbine and you get out. So what's keeping you level?
Man, it's a lot of you got to think of, like, what would this person do or say when I'm not around? So it's like, if I don't think that this person is really putting on for me, or like really has my back whenever I'm not around, you can't keep them around. Like, whenever I moved to LA, I was 18. So my manager, Dre, I met him and he seemed to show genuine interest. I had no music out. No one in the whole world has ever heard my music, but he actually liked me as a person and liked what I had, stored away. And he was just like, let's rock. And he's been here for, little under 4 years. And it's important meeting new people that you come in with a grain of salt, and just think about, like, what their main reason is for being around you.
Hey, man, how were you, or what happened as far as the process goes? You come out with White Iverson, the rest of the stuff that y'all put out.
Right.
And all of a sudden, man, hundreds of millions of hits, views, streams, billions. And like you said, when you put that out, you was 18.
Right.
Now you're 22.
Right.
So, man, really, your world almost changes overnight.
Yeah.
So how did the community, the music community or the entertainment world, accept you? Because, you're kind of a hybrid of a lot of different music styles.
Yeah, and that was definitely a tough, especially in the hip-hop game, being a 18-year-old white kid. People want to try so hard to prove that it's not genuine. But I think that, especially now that the genre is taking so many different strides to just, to make it no genre. So there's no genre, it's just music. And I think it's important that we incorporate, like, old stuff and new stuff and just everything in between, and make a sound that really no one's ever heard. Because it's so easy to make a cookie cutter song. Yeah. It's so easy to just put out a new song that everybody's heard before. You know what I mean? But, there was a lot of doubters that didn't want to see me win. And I went through trials and all the tribulations and everything. But I just, I'm me. There's nothing else. There's no one else that I want to be. There's no one else that I can possibly be.
Did you ever have a plan B, or was just, hey, man, you just wanted to make music?
Right.
Look, when I got into business pro wrestling, I just wanted to be a wrestler. Turned out it worked out pretty good. Did you, when you got into the music business, or you found that you had a talent for music, you said, hey, man, I want to be a superstar, or you just want to make music? What is it?
Right. I honestly never thought that I would be famous. It was either making music for a living or working at Chicken Express. You know Chicken Express?
Yeah.
That's where I used to work. So my friend Jason moved out to LA, right? Because he made YouTube videos. So I moved out with him, and I didn't tell my parents until 2 weeks before I was moving. So I was like, hey, I'm going to LA. I'm dropping out of college. I went to school for like 2 months. It wasn't for me. So I said, hopefully it works out. And I would lie to them and say, yo, I'm working on this new project. Like, oh, it's going so good. And then I just got lucky, man.
What college were you going to?
TCC. Tarrant County.
Holy smokes. I was right down the road from you. I was in Denton, North Texas State University.
Yeah.
So what were you going to study?
Nothing. I had no clue. I had no major. I had nothing.
I'm just guessing that you didn't do an ounce of homework.
No, I had nothing. I realized school wasn't for me. I literally failed everything. But.
When did you start partying or drinking beer and like in the lifestyle you're in right now? I know you're in the rock and roll lifestyle now.
Right.
Or you hip hop, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Call it rock and roll.
It's the same stuff nowadays.
Yeah.
Rock and roll is hip hop.
We're on the same page.
I mean, I went to my friend Drew Cohen's house sophomore year, and that's when I had my first. We started with Peach Ciroc. I said that was too wussy, so I needed. But we used to drink Natty Ice.
Right.
Natural ice. That's the good stuff.
Been there, done it.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. You can get a 30 rack for like $10. That's where they had it in Boston. Ben says $10. Yeah, it was good stuff, man. Playing beer pong, doing beer bongs, and it's getting weird. But, it all carried over because that's who I am. It's not going to change. I'm going to be drinking beer till I'm 80. I'll stop at 80.
Do you drink the hard stuff? Like I have my beer. It's IPA. That's my flavor of choice. But also I like bourbon. So I'm kind of in a bourbon phase where once a week or twice a week, whatever it is. Like I told you, I'm in the process of getting in shape, so I got to watch what I'm doing. But I like to sip on whiskey and stuff like that. Do you mess with the hard stuff, or are you just a beer guy?
I like vodka, but I can't drink vodka straight. There was a time where I could drink vodka straight, but I don't know what happened to me. I became a wussy over time. But now I can. I like a nice screwdriver. And someone told me a story about you. I don't remember who.
I guess I'll tell you.
I don't remember who it was, but it was like an early flight. He got on the airplane. He sat down in first class, and he turns to either his right or left, and he sees you with a hat and some sunglasses on. And the lady comes by asking for some drinks, and you say, "I'll have a double screwdriver, no orange juice." And from then on, I just say that to everybody else.
Just a frog's hair orange juice. I cannot stand. Normally they only give you one drink before you take off.
Right.
And sometimes I'll make sure it's a double.
Right.
But dude, I want to go ahead and get a little bit of relax going on before that pilot hits the damn throttle. So that was probably a true story.
Yeah. Double screwdriver, no OJ. We love it. It's good
Hey man,
stuff.
in the song Go Flex,
yeah,
you say, man, I'm stone cold with the flex. Now was that in reference to me or just a stone cold reference?
Stone cold, big man, tough guy. Got him.
What possessed you to write that song? Because it's an interesting set of lyrics.
Right.
And getting into that, where did that come from? Getting picked on, or just what? Going out of your mind?
I mean, it's like sometimes you just like forget it. I'm just gonna go get hammered, and I'm just gonna have fun with my friends and starting on everybody that's ever talked. So flexing. I like to drive my Rolls Royce and doors open and go crazy. Let the girls get in, see the stars. So it's just about that. And I said, who's the strongest man in the world? I said, Stone Cold. So that's why I had to shout you out.
Okay. First off, I ain't the strongest man in the world. I'm not going to say that.
You're the strongest man in the room right now.
Hey, boy, I'll take that one. There's three of us here, and that's just because I got lucky.
You can definitely beat up Ben.
You and me going to be a pretty good strap on. You're a big drink of water. Hey, tell me about that Rolls Royce. You could have bought anything you wanted. You went to the top of the line and got a two-door Rolls Royce, and the doors open up backwards. When I sat in your Rolls Royce, that's the first time I've been in a damn car that expensive. What did you go through? Did you go through the Bentley or just said, no, I'm going to the Mac Daddy. I want a two-door Rolls Royce, and that's what I'm driving?
Originally, I didn't know what I wanted because I knew if I was going to get money, I knew that I wanted something. I'm not too into the fast cars. I like more of a ride where you can fit the friends in and go, turn up for a ride on the town. But it was either the Bentley Mulsanne, which is like the 4-door, or a Rolls Royce Phantom. And then I said, you know what? A Phantom, you need someone driving you. And I didn't always have Ben here to, put on the chauffeur's cap and take me everywhere, but. So I said, I need something that I can drive myself and still feel cool. So I just got the Wraith, and it works perfectly. It's fast, V12. It's good stuff, man.
What do people do when they see that car? Because that's the first time I've seen that particular model, and it's in my driveway.
I'll let you have it. I'll trade you for the Bronco.
Man, I tell you what, you might have to rustle up a little bit of cash.
That's a bad one.
Boy, I tell you what, if you want to go Bronco for Rolls Royce, that's a trade I'll make, mister.
Let's ride. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, you're always talking about getting weird. You can put that thing in four-wheel low and get as weird as you want on the 405.
We love it.
Hey, what was I going to ask you about? Man, I'm all over the place. This is a podcast that I would have no idea was going to happen. Post sent that text message this morning. He's on his way, and I'm like, I called him. I said, dude, I ain't done no homework. He goes, we can do it on another day. I'm like, no, man. I mean, I could use a podcast now, but you're going to have to carry me for an hour.
Right.
So we decided to go ahead and hook it up. When y'all filmed White Iverson, is that a Rolls or is that a Bentley?
Yeah, that's a Rolls.
Okay, y'all were doing white rolls and y'all were doing donuts. Where was that? Is it Joshua Tree or Palm Desert?
Somewhere out over yonder. Somewhere in the...
It's in a desert,
it's
though.
It's like an hour out of town.
How long did it take to shoot that damn thing? It's an amazing video, and it's a great song. But y'all, my bottom line is y'all beating the shit out of a Rolls Royce.
Right. Yeah.
So do you go lease a $500,000 car and say, hey, man, I'm on the DL. We're going to beat the shit out of this thing, but we'll wash it before we bring it back.
Exactly.
How does that work out?
We drove out like an hour out of town. It was my friend Drama from Young and Reckless and from Robin Big and all that stuff. They said you can use my car, and I said okay. There's no way that I'm not gonna use the car. Thank you so much. So we take it out, and the next second we have a professional driver doing crazy in it and just going crazy and running around. They saw the video, and apparently Rolls-Royce hit him up and said, "Hey, you can't do that." Which I don't understand, because if it's your car, you should be able to do whatever you want with it. But that's just the story that they told me.
Right.
But, I love Drama for letting me take it. And they said they was washing it down, and they found a bunch of weird up underneath it, like a Barbie doll and, like, panties and all that stuff underneath it whenever they washed it afterwards. But it wasn't me. I don't play with Barbie dolls, and I don't wear panties, so
that's a good thing to hear. When you said you wanted to get weird, homie, don't play that shit.
Right, exactly. We get really weird, yes, sir.
Hey, on a creative process, on a video like that,
right.
It's shot epically, you're doing your thing, and then, you got to do, you're singing.
Right.
There's a drive, and you're putting all that together. Who comes up with the concept for that?
Sometimes it's me. I've become recently with the videos that aren't out. I've had way more of a hands-on creative process because I'm kind of sick of just like rap videos being the standard performance shot to where it's just you in front of a camera with a car and you're just rapping. I mean, it works. It works, but it's not going to be something that really like represents me. At certain times it is, but not all the time. So like I've been really like hands-on directing my videos myself, like thinking of just concepts and all that stuff. But James DeFina does a lot of it. He's got the camera that they shot The Hobbit on, the red or whatever. Yeah. It's good stuff. It makes everything look good. You could literally fart on camera and make it look like a very epic movie.
Right.
But, it's just good stuff. It's just, it's collaboration between me and whoever is shooting the video and whoever is creative directing the video.
Hey, man, with you being kind of on fire as you are right now, what's the collaboration process like? Because I know you, all of a sudden you got a relationship struck up, friendship with Justin Bieber and Kanye West, 50 Cent. A lot of names that I can't even remember off the top of my head right now. So all of a sudden when you get hot, do these people reach out to you, or because you're the young buck, you got to reach out to them?
Right.
Is it cross-pollinate? How does that happen?
Well, it kind of happens like, especially nowadays with social media and stuff, it's so easy to just, get together. And especially, my manager always kills it. So it's like, he'll say, yo, Quavo wants to get into the studio, which is the guy that I made Congratulations with and who I performed Wearing the Vest with.
Yep.
So we just get into the studio and kind of like vibe out for a little bit. We never met each other. It's just like different stuff. Rappers don't drink beer. So I got him drinking a Bud Light. We're all having a good time. We're just chilling, hanging out. And then Metro Boomin was in the studio too. He made the beat. So he played this beat and we were like, this is perfect. So then I get in there and sing what I have to sing. But it's usually just mumbles. You mumble until you find a melody that you like. And then he goes in and does the same thing. But I mean, it's just like if you have something in common, or if you like with each other on two different sides, it'll come together naturally somehow. You can't really force it. Like, I couldn't force this. I'm not gonna, let me get on your podcast. It's just gonna happen naturally eventually, whether you know it or not.
It happened. Hey, I got more questions. I'm going to ask Post. Post is sitting right across the table from me. I ain't got no furniture in my house. 3 chairs and a table.
It's very minimalist. It's like
minimal.
Kanye West would do.
But when you come back, see what I did there? When you come back,
right.
This motherfucker be bad.
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to put some in here. But I want to talk to you about, your style, your image, how you created, the persona, because you ain't wasting no money on clothes.
Nah.
You got a good-looking pair of jeans on.
Levi's.
A pair of boots, and you got a Miller High Life beer delivery shirt on.
I think the Lucchese's are the most expensive part.
I got to have that shirt. But you ain't wasting your money on threads.
No, man.
Come back. Let's take a pause for the call. So sponsor keep the show on the air 2 times a week for people to download this podcast. And that's the bottom line. I'm coming right back with Post Malone.
This is the Steve Austin Show.
Support for this podcast comes from Pluto TV. Need an escape? Drop into Pluto TV for a world of free TV. Stream hundreds of channels and thousands of movies and shows all for free. Yeah, free. No subscriptions, no fees. Imagine 24/7 channels of Narcos, CSI, Star Trek, Survivor, and everything else from hit movies to binge-worthy TV shows. The latest news, live sports, comedy, and more. What are you waiting for? Download the free Pluto TV app for Android, iPhone, Roku, and Fire TV and start streaming now. Pluto TV. Drop in, watch free.
Hello, everyone. This is Eagles Hall of Fame quarterback Ron Jaworski, and I am so excited to bring you the hottest new podcast for the NFL and gaming. Welcome to Jaws Picks, featuring me, Ron Jaworski, and some of the most famous names in sports, music, and entertainment, as I give you my expert analysis and predictions of each and every NFL game. So far this season, my predictions are over 55% correct against the spread. That's a pretty good number, folks. And over 67% picking winners straight up. You do not want to miss out on this podcast. Every week, I will tell you who, how, and why each NFL game will be decided. Take the guesswork and stress out of gaming and subscribe to Jaws Picks wherever you get your podcast. That's Jaws Picks wherever you get your podcast. Stay safe, take care, and let's make some beer money.
The Steve Austin Show. The Steve Austin Show.
Post Malone comes stepping back in the room. I want to ask you about all the tattoos and the persona and how, because there's a couple of different theories on how you came up with the Post Malone, because your real name is Austin.
Austin Post.
Austin
yes, sir.
Post. So you just moved the post in front of that and that was it?
I mean, I was probably 14, 15 when I first started like rapping over my own beats. So I was like, I need a name. I need a cool, very cool, funky, fresh hip hop type name. So I put Austin Post in a rap name generator, and it came out with Post Malone, and I just stuck with it.
I didn't know they had a rap name
we
generator.
We need to do you too.
Hey, here, dig this, man, because you're a young cat. You know, when I was growing up, I wanted to be in the rock and roll business. Hell, I wanted to be, a lead singer. Turns out I can't sing. And my dad played in a country and western band. He was a lead guitarist. Old school chords, and, he was good. But anyway, he tried to teach me how to play guitar, but I didn't apply myself. So I didn't, turn into a lead guitarist.
Right.
And then I figured, well, I still want to be in the music business. I'll play bass guitar because it's got 2 less strings. It'll be easier.
It's very easy.
Yeah, well, it may be easy for you. And my parents knew I'd make too much noise if they bought me a drum kit.
Right.
So that killed my dreams of being in a music business. So it turned out pretty good because the rest of the thing worked out for me.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with, okay, you got the cool name.
Right.
And I didn't know that there was a rap name generator. Yeah. I'm going to put all mine in there and see what it comes up with me.
Yeah,
you got an app on your phone?
Now. It's not. We'll just look up rap name generator. We'll see what.
Rap name generator.
What? Steve, is that your real name?
Steve Austin.
Yes, sir. It couldn't have worked any better.
It turned out okay.
Yeah, it couldn't. You have the ultimate name of all time. Let's see. Welcome to my rap name. This was the same one. There we go. Steve Austin. Suggest male rap name. Your rap name is Rich Stevie Power Slab, a.k.a. Yo Fist. I'll show you. If you're trying to get into...
All right, from now on, y'all can call me Rich Stevie Power Slab, a.k.a. Yo Fist.
But you have to say the whole name every time.
Every single time. Or I won't answer to you.
Right.
And if I'm on your show, if you got any green M&Ms in there, I ain't coming.
Rich
You got to take
Stevie
your
Slab.
green M&Ms out. Rich Stevie Power Slab, a.k.a. Yo Fist. Who developed such an application? And let me ask you a question. Post Jesus H. Christ on a popsicle stick. You got a Rolls Royce parked in my driveway.
Right.
It's a $500,000 car, I'm guessing. And you got an iPhone 4.
Yeah, I know. It's
And there's some busted.
It's
to
actually
hell.
a 6. Don't.
It's a
They
6?
can't see it right now, so
I'm
don't
sorry,
tell
Post. I didn't mean to kill your gimmick off, as we would say in the wrestling business. I'm rocking a 7+
Right,
over here,
right.
brother.
Hey,
Come
man,
on
that's
now.
big. That's
But
a big
I'm riding
baller,
around. I'm riding around in a $10,000 Ford Bronco too.
It's good stuff. That's good stuff, man. You know, it's
Hey, what do you spend your money on? You throwing it out the window?
There's-
You saving it? Where are you at?
there's a lot of things. I spend a lot of my money on guns. Half of my money is guns. Half of my money is Gucci suits. I love a nice fitted suit to go to Vegas and
Do you
play
gamble?
some blackjack. Yeah, come on. I
Blackjack
love-
was my game too.
It's
but
the
here's the
game of
thing:
choice.
just back in the day,
Right.
Man, I just I never split a pair,
Right.
And I just played straight. I didn't give it if I won or lost. I just had $100 limit for the whole night, dude. This is how tight I am.
Right.
I'd tell the waitress, bring me another drink, and I always tipped
Yeah.
her well and just kept them coming.
Right.
And I would entertain myself. So do you throw down big chunks of change?
Yeah, man. Last time I went to Vegas, I think I lost like 12 grand.
Oh, see, I'd crush.
Oh no, it sucked.
So I'm the worst
And then
loser in the world.
I had so I was doing a show in Vegas later that night. So I went to I landed in Vegas around like 8 a.m. The show was like at 8 p.m. So as soon as I landed, I sat down in the blackjack table. I had all cash, big wad of rapper money, 12 grand. Put it right into my Gucci vest and put my jacket over. I sat down. I put it there. I went to the high rollers, and I thought I was doing good, and then I lost it all. But see, there's times it depends. It depends on how the Earth is rotating and what the planets are saying up there. Because one time I put down like $800, went up 12 grand, and then I just lost it all anyways. So you just got to know when to quit, but it's hard.
Let me ask you this question. A young buck like you
Right.
shows up dressed in a Gucci, you got 15 large or whatever it is in your vest, and you start throwing down big amounts of money. I know some people look at you, they ain't never heard of anything.
You get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And that's good. You know, it's kind of the fun of it. You never go to Vegas planning to win big. You just want to have like the Vegas experience with your boys. Like, just keep on bringing the Bud Lights. Bring me 2 Bud Lights and a screwdriver, and just get hammered and play blackjack. I think blackjack's fun.
I do too. I loved it. But again, I'm a cheapskate. Do you feel like you got to maintain any kind of image being in the business that you're in?
I tell you what, I used to feel like, being 18, 19, I used to feel like if I do something that's against the norm or, out of the way, that I would be judged for it. But at this point, man, I just don't really care. And people are going to, appreciate the music more than anything. So if I do something different, then they'll appreciate that. And maybe then they'll adapt it themselves, and then you'll start a trend that way. It's all just like give and take. So if they see me do something, maybe then they'll do it. Like I just had bangs. Like I cut my bangs like real nice. And they put me in GQ. It was very, very
Do you think
fashion.
Post that if I cut my bangs, they would put me in GQ?
Yeah, that's it. I think you should just have the shaved head and then just some bangs coming out the front. I think that would be the new look.
Dude, people ask me all the time on Twitter, what happened to your eyebrows? Look at them. They're just barely there. You can barely see them, can't you?
they look
They're there. They're barely there. I'm bald.
You said this is meticulous plucking.
Plucking. I ain't
This is
plucking nothing. I'm plucking chicken, but I ain't plucking hairs off my eyebrows.
This
I
is
ain't got
meticulous.
none. I'm
I
rocking
work
the best
for
I can
these.
rock. Do you seek out attention when you're not performing? Because it seems like you would gather enough attention because you're in such demand now. But do you need to be noticed? Is it an ego thing for you? Like, hey, man, all of a sudden I'm not being recognized enough.
Right.
Where are you on that?
It depends. What I really like to do is feel cool to older people. So, like, say if, like, I have an older waiter or waitress or whatever, I would tip them highly because I don't want them to think that all young, edgy people are assholes. Because I'm not an asshole. I love people, and I just want to show them that we can be cool too. You know what I mean? But I mean, other than that, really, no, I don't care. I like nice stuff. I like cars and I like stuff, but it doesn't really matter to me. Sometimes it does.
When you're not making music, well, let's talk about making music. Like when you created this album, do you just wake up with this inspiration and think, hey, man, this would be a song, and you just start writing some stuff down on paper? How does that happen?
I mean, it's really just a lot of Bud Light. So I make a beat. Like, I make a lot of my beats now. And, you know, that's the way it started. But then I got into a phase where I was like, these people make such better beats than I do. But now I make cool beats, too. So
explain to me about making a beat.
I use a program called FL Studio. It's super easy. Anybody can do it. So I open up a program. It's called Omnisphere. I pick the sound that I like. I put it on shuffle and just go through all the sounds until I find one that really works. And I'm really into major keys right now because it's just very melodic. You can put whatever you want. Because a lot of the stuff right now is either like it's super minor and you can only do a certain type of very hackney, very trite melody over it. So I want to go major and make something that's super catchy and super, killer. So I just open that up. I can't play piano so I don't have a MIDI keyboard or whatever. I just take a note, put it on a note that sounds good in my head right now. I match the beat to my heartbeat and just go off of that and just see what sounds good, trial and error, making it sound good.
Damn.
And then drums. Shout out to Metro Boomin. I have Metro Boomin drums. He's the best drums.
Damn, that's interesting. How long did it take you to write White Iverson? Because, I mean, that's the one that's got almost 400 million views.
Right.
How long it's just a cool-ass vibe. It's a great video, but it starts with the song.
Thank you. Right.
That's just like chill. I listen to the song. It's like, man, that's just cool.
Right. It's a crazy song, but like, it's crazy how chill the song is, and to see the people at the shows just go nuts, just turn up and go crazy. I made the beat for that one. So I have like 2 really big songs right now, which is White Iverson and then the newer song, Congratulations, which Congratulations was Metro Boomin and Frank Dukes. But White Iverson, that was all me. Like, I made that beat from scratch. And I was like, so I just started, I really wanted to do like a folk song. So like a folk song would like go to a C, a G, a C, an F, like just like that. Really easy, like, if you would strum it out on a guitar, it would be the most simple chord progression. Right. But I wanted to make it super airy and super, like, you can just do whatever you want over it. So I started making the beat, and I started writing the song right there because I had a melody off rip, and then it just grew from there.
But you got no formal musical instruction?
Not really. I just kind of, it was important for me growing up that, like I said, I started partying in sophomore year, but until then, even then, when people would say, "Hey, yo, we're having a party, like we're going crazy, like we're gonna have fun," it just lock myself in a room and watch people play Metallica covers, like Master of Puppets covers, and like Ride the Lightning covers, and I would watch their fingers and understand that, hey, this sounds good, and that doesn't sound good whenever I try to play it. So it's just watching people play guitar and figure stuff out themselves. So I just wanted to see that and say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. I've never taken a guitar lesson or a music lesson or anything in my life. It's just locking yourself in and figuring it out yourself.
If I was to go in that Rolls Royce out there and start running through your playlist, I mean, like, man, you're dropping Metallica, Megadeth, stuff like that. And I know a lot of country music influences from Hank Sr., George Jones, and then obviously all the rappers you've worked with. But man, what's your go-to stuff? Or is there? Or are you all over the place because you love music?
It's really all over the place. Like, on the way over, we rocked a lot of Alan Jackson.
Jesus Christ, really?
That's my guy.
You're one of my all-time favorites.
That's my guy. Chattahoochee. We had...
I used to throw my flip-flop in the Chattahoochee River for my pit bull to go bring back to me. Straight up, when I lived in Atlanta, I was wrestling for World Championship Wrestling.
Good stuff.
And he was from Noonan, Georgia, right down the road from where I was living.
He's a good guy. I mean,
you got a chance to meet him?
No, I never met him, but I can tell through his music that he's a good guy.
That would be interesting watching you and Alan Jackson meet
each
other.
I would love to jam.
Yeah.
The only legend that I really met was Toby. Like, I met up with Toby. I think he was on tour in Connecticut, and it was his birthday, and he invited me to go to the show, and we sat on the bus, and we jammed Roger Miller and everything good and just stuff like that.
Dude, you're an old soul in a young body.
Yeah, man, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Hey, we were taking a break a while ago when you were smoking that cigarette, and you asked me about if I still had a place in Texas. I said, no, man, I just sold that place. I said, I'm looking at Nevada. You said you are too.
Yeah.
So what is attractive in Nevada to you?
I guess I'm planning on moving to Elko. Up north.
I know exactly what you're talking
very
about.
Very rural, very like what's it? Spring Creek, over near that area. I was looking at, there's a lot of stuff, and I don't want to say that I'm a doomsday prepper, but I just want to know that whenever this hits the fan, I have a place where I can go and still be safe. So I was looking up at Elko, and it showed that there was no like nuclear winds and nothing weird if anything hit on the West Coast or in the South. So it just seemed like the perfect place to me. So I looked at a place up there and working on the paperwork right now, and we got a nice little joint up there.
Damn, dude. So what's going to be the just as far as getting out of there? Because I'm in probably within a 75-mile circle of Reno. And because I looked in Elko, Winnemucca, I've looked all over that state because, and my brother-in-law is a professional guide, so he's guided every single unit that's been up there. But you're going to fly private in and out? Because I don't know that Elko has a major airport, do they?
They have something that flies in from Salt Lake.
Okay.
But they also have, from Salt Lake, there's a thing called Jet Suite. That's kind of like you could still not be super baller, but still fly a jet for a good price to a certain place. So I mean, even if I did have to fly private, if I'm gonna die if I stay, then I'm gonna pay as much as I can to get over there. But I figured the way that I look at it, you have 3 days to get out of the place whenever your credit card and debit card stops working. So it's just stuff. I sound crazy. I'm not that crazy.
No, you said but you said yeah, dude.
We live in a crazy world.
I used to get
now,
hit in the head with steel chairs for a living, so you ain't no crazier than I am. And I don't know if I was born that way or was beaten into me. But, well, what you're seeing is what I am.
Right.
So I'm with you. You said you like your guns.
Yes, sir.
Man, young cat like you,
yes, sir.
Man, I grew up hunting, and I hang out, or some of my friends are 3-gun shooting champions and tactical people.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert at anything, but I love to shoot. I want to go to long-range shooting school so I can call the wind and do stuff like that. So, like, what do you like to shoot? Is it like pistols or just plink? What's your passion?
There's a place it's tough to get an automatic firearm. So I like a place in Vegas. It's called Battlefield Vegas. Have you ever been there?
Mm-hmm.
I ran over a car with a tank, super baller. They have automatic firearms you can just shoot and get accustomed to. I don't know, man. I love me a good just AR with a 60 round drum on it. Nice, the one I got right now got You know, the EOTech with the flip EOTech right underneath it, so you can flip it and then you can flip it and go longer. It's good stuff, man. And just, you know, Nevada, you can get silencers, you can get automatic weapons if you know the right people. It's good stuff. So I just, you know, I want to move it. And plus it's over the counter. It's like buying bread or something. So, you know, we love it over there.
Man, I just put in for my ranch in Texas. I put in for a suppressor. And these days, because of everything that's going on, it takes a year to get your paperwork back or to get your suppressor. First time, they didn't give me my stamp. They screwed up. And then finally, I've been waiting for the suppressor for 2 years. Now, I've sold my place. I still have a place in Texas, but I sold my ranch. And so I'm like, I can't have the suppressor in California, as you know. Right. So I'm like, well, hell, I got a I got 2 of them actually, but I can't take delivery of them. So if I get in Nevada, do the thing, make the transfer, and I'm still good because I can't bring that thing to Cali. Yeah. And that's one of the things that, you know, sucks about, you know,
California's a great state, but gun laws in the universe.
Yeah. So that's another reason why, you know, where I'm looking, it's about a 400 to 450 mile drive. Right. You're going to be a little bit further, probably 250 past going to Elko. Nonetheless, whatever it is. But I like their tax laws, I like their gun laws. Yeah,
it's good stuff. That's what, and I took that into effect. I really wanted to move to Montana because I think Montana is one of the most beautiful places in the whole world. Mm-hmm. But just looking at, you know, like the taxes, the other stuff, and the gun laws, it's just not the same. Nevada, you can walk into a grocery store strapped up. We love it. Did you see in Texas, they just made it so you can carry around a sword?
No, I didn't see that.
You can carry around a full sword now, dude. It's awesome.
I don't want to carry anything, but, you know, because some people make me nervous because I don't know how they're wound or what they've been through or what kind of day they're having. Or did their wife say, hey, man, I'm out of here? You know, so you never know what's going to happen. I owe everybody that's listening to this podcast a beer because my phone goes off. That's one of my rules, Post. I owe everybody a beer. So if you listen to this podcast, send in your voucher to questions@steveaustonshow.com. I'm kidding. I ain't buying nobody no damn. That's one of my policies. Sometimes, man, in places just got open carry, I'm like, all right, man.
We get it.
What's this guy all about?
Right. I mean, it's just, I know I'm not a psychopath, but I know that there are psychopaths. And even if they don't come for me, if they're just going for everybody, you don't know how many lives you could save. It's just like if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready.
I'm always ready.
Always ready.
I can take you over and show my backpack here in a minute.
Come on. Yes, sir.
Hey, man, what are you doing in your free time? You damn youngster, you chasing women everywhere. I mean, you got your music covered. You're really heading in a good direction. Right. You're in a great place. You've worked hard to get here. Right. What are your other passions? I know you love cars and music.
Right. You know, free time is hard to come by nowadays.
You got to make hay while the sun's shining.
Yeah, exactly. Because you never know. Next day, no one's going to care.
Right.
Next day, no one's going to care. So just do what you can now. I'm working on the second album. Music, I love to make music. I love to write songs on guitar that will never come out. It'll just be me and my guitar and my phone notes. And I love to play Xbox. I love to play me a good Call of Duty sesh. Love to watch movies. I sound like the most boring. I love to drink. I love to get hammered. I love a good game of beer pong. I just love to kick it. You know, I'm a man of simple pleasures.
That's cool. That's cool. How far down the road do you look at 22 years of age as I speak to you? Right. Like you thinking, hey man, by 30 I want to have done this, or maybe ultimately I want to be involved in all this other. Or do you look at far down the road? I never did. I went day by day. What's your plan?
I mean, it's hard to say by 30, I want this. You know, I mean, it's more like I want this right now. I'm going to get this right now. And if I get it, I can focus on the next goal because I've earned it. You know, so as long as everything is growing and, you know, just getting bigger and getting more solidified and, more fans and more songs. And I don't know. I want to be able to have the security to do whatever I want to do. And that's what life is about. if you want to go and if you want to go to Vegas and spend $12,000, you should be able to do it. That's all I care about. Is I just want to be able to. I don't want anything stopping me from doing what I want to do in life. And I think that's what, growth is, and that's really what security is and what life is about. Actually, you should be able to. If I wanted to go to the Great Wall of China tomorrow, I can, and that's important because I don't want to. It'd be cool, but right. Eventually, maybe I will. But it's like life is about being able to do what you want to do, and that's really all that's important to me. It's just being able to do what I want to do.
Hey, man, you're 22. I keep talking about how old you are, and I don't mean to just keep pointing that out, but just from your entrance into the music business, and now it being 2017, just from me going back to the old school days, just like I was reading about Fleetwood Mac when they came out with the Rumors album, so like 15 or 17 million copies.
Right.
It was one of the biggest selling albums back in the day of all time. Things have changed. These days, all the downloads for those veterans who are still in the music business, it's all changed. It's all downloads.
Right.
So how has that affected you?
It's a lot different. I would love to have been in the Fleetwood Mac days and put out Rumors and to be Stevie Nicks' boyfriend.
My man.
But it's a different time. There's a lot. Everything, and what's really important now is not only direct album sales or even digital album sales, but Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming is so like 2 billion streams is a lot of streams. I would not have even gone platinum if it wasn't for streams. It's impressive. My album first week sold like 57,000, I think, something like that, which is just nowhere near if back then you would have put out an album and it would have sold physical copies.
Right.
Like physical copies, 1 million physical copies in the first week. It's just different. It's just music is so accessible now, and I'm really happy that like the RIAA and all the awards have realized that and changed it over to something that is relevant and actually makes sense for nowadays. Because there used to be a time where people would never buy an album. They would just go to Pirate Bay and download it. You can have all the music you want for free with no one's ever going to catch you. I've done it. I used to have like 10,000 songs that I didn't pay a cent for.
Yeah.
But I think it's super dope that now these streaming services are out there so you don't have to steal the music. And I don't care. If you want to steal my music, I really don't care. But if you want to go to Spotify or Apple Music, it's there. And it's way more convenient than getting on your computer, dragging it all the way to your iPhone and listening to it there instead of just pulling up an iPhone app and listen to it. We love it.
This has been a Podcast One production. Download new episodes of The Steve Austin Show every Tuesday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.
Look out! Join me every week for the Michael Irvin Podcast. The Michael Irvin Podcast, the MIP.
Now the MIP exists. The MIP.
Okay, I gotta make sure you got something to show.
What? Where's Michael? He's holding out. What do you mean he's holding out?
Fine. Hey, it's the Playmaker. I ain't available right now. I said the Playmaker's not available for you.
I will give you my Playmaker of the Week. Take the spotlight sometimes off of all these quarterbacks and put the spotlight on some of those guys that make the quarterbacks. T-I-R-E-D, put it together. T-I-R-E-D. I get tired. That's the love.
That's the Michael Irvin I love right there,
What's
man.
that?
Yeah.
Download new episodes of the MIP, the Michael Irvin Podcast, every Thursday on Apple Podcasts, PodcastOne, and Spotify.
That's the Michael Irvin Podcast. I am the Playmaker, Michael Irvin.